The Sleeping Prince, a 20-year miracle of silence, faith, and a father who never let go. What does it mean to be alive? Is it the breath in your lungs, the light in your eyes? Or is it the love that refuses to leave your side, even when the body is still and the world says it's over? This is the story of a boy who became a question, a prince who never woke up, and a father who never gave up. In 2005, Prince Al-Waleed bin Khaled bin Talal al-Saud was just 15. Born into the royal family of Saudi Arabia, his future was paved in gold. He was the grandson of Prince Talal bin Abdulaziz, the reformer known as the Red Prince, the nephew of Al-Waleed bin Talal, one of the richest men in the world, and the beloved son of Prince Khaled bin Talal, a man of devout faith and quiet strength. That year, while training at a military academy in the United Kingdom, Al-Waleed suffered a devastating car accident. The diagnosis, traumatic brain injury, persistent vegetative state. Doctors gave him 20 hours to live. But he defied them. He lived for 20 years. At the hospital, physicians gave a familiar recommendation: let him go, withdraw life support, make peace. But Prince Khaled said no. Only God can decide life and death. To him, his son's body was not a shell. It was still a soul in waiting. He refused to pull the plug. He flew his son to King Abdulaziz's medical city in Riyadh, and there he built a world inside a hospital room. Not of despair, but of prayers, faith, and love that refused to die. Every day, Prince Khaled read the Quran aloud beside his son. He spoke to him softly, even when there was no reply. He hired full-time medical staff, watched every breath, counted every heartbeat. During holidays like Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, and Eid al-Adha, he decorated the room like a celebration, not for the sake of tradition, but as a reminder that his son still mattered, still belonged. He turned illness into devotion and silence into something sacred. But what kind of mind survives that silence for 20 years? Psychologists call it ambiguous loss. When someone is physically alive but emotionally unreachable. It's the hardest kind of grief. Most people break under it, but Prince Khaled didn't. Why? Because for him, love was not something you offered once. It was something you renewed every single day. By showing up, he wasn't hoping for a miracle. He was becoming one. His presence, his refusal to surrender, his unwavering gaze in the face of 20 years of stillness. That was his miracle. Over the years, tiny signs emerged: a twitch, a flutter of the eyes, a lift of the head. Clips spread online. People cried. They whispered, "The sleeping prince is waking." To science, it was reflex. To faith, it was a sign. To his father, it was enough. These moments didn't bring answers. They brought meaning. They became the lifeblood of a vigil that refused to fade. Prince Al-Waleed became a symbol, not just in Saudi Arabia, but across the Arab world. He represented the tension between science and spirit, between modernity and tradition, between letting go and holding on. Should a body be kept alive when the mind is gone? Should love know when to stop, or should it endure no matter the cost? Prince Khaled had his answer. As long as his son breathed, hope was still breathing too. 6-0, the weight of endless waiting. Day by day, the seasons changed. The world moved on, but one man stayed, in a world obsessed with speed. He chose stillness. In a world built on logic, he chose faith. He was not waiting for the perfect moment. He was honoring every moment, even the silent ones. He once said, "No one can predict a miracle, and we will never give up on our son." And he never did, not for 10 years, not for 15, not even for 19. On that day, the world heard the words it had waited and feared for 2 decades. A message not from doctors, not from media, but from the one who had stood beside him all along. "O serene soul, return to your Creator, well-pleased and well-pleasing. With hearts faithful in God's destiny, we announce the passing of our beloved son." Prince Al-Waleed bin Khaled bin Talal, after 20 years in a coma. His funeral was held at Imam Turki bin Abdullah Mosque, a place of honor. 3 days of mourning followed, and while the world said goodbye, something deeper remained. The boy who never spoke had somehow spoken to them all. His death marked the end of a chapter, but also the beginning of a question. How long would you wait for someone you love? 1 year, 5, 20? Would you fight the world to protect a life that no longer speaks but still breathes? Would you still decorate their room for holidays? Read to them each morning? Pray beside them each night? Because in a world that demands outcomes, Prince Khaled proved that some loves don't keep score, some loves just remain. What would you do? Would you let go, or would you hold on until the very end, even if that end takes 20 years? Because love doesn't count time, and miracles don't keep schedules. Sometimes the greatest stories are told in silence. And sometimes the loudest "I love you" is spoken by simply not walking away. Candle rest in peace, Al-Waleed. You never woke up, but you woke something in all of us.